Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot of news to go over. And I have to say personally that most of it, about 90% of it, is great news.
I'm not a financial advisor, but the folks at Genesis Gold Group specialize in helping those who want to diversify their excess wealth by converting their fiat currency retirement plans into a plan that is backed by real money. So if you're in a position where you are wondering what you can do in order to diversify or insulate your wealth against what I like to call the inferno of inflation, give Genesis Gold Group a call and they can provide you with the information that you need in order to make an educated decision.
Unless you've been living under a rock, you already know that President-elect Trump will become 47. And it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in the first 100 days and in the first year and years of his next presidency. However, ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you that once the country, and I would say for most part the world, is done celebrating at this victory, that we have to get serious again and get ready for the next contest that takes place in 2 years in order so that we can achieve the things that need to be done in order to, and I'm going to say it, keep America great, ladies and gentlemen, because even though we go through hard times, in my opinion, America's always been great through the good and bad times. As always, I will be skimming through several stories and I will leave the link for them on a pinned comment so that you can revisit them if you'd like. This is going to have the green energy movement going nuts. Why? Because it seems that they don't understand, ladies and gentlemen, that an economy is energy. The less energy consumption there is in a country, you can see that there is less economic output. 3 key energy moves that Trump plans for his first 100 days. He plans to prioritize increasing U.S. oil and gas production by removing federal drilling restrictions, which could lead to lower energy prices. Why is this, ladies and gentlemen, that he's doing this? It's not just for lower energy prices, but it's for self-sufficiency. Why should we or any other nation that has the ability and resources to provide for itself the things that it needs reach out to those that call themselves openly the enemy of the United States so that they can provide us with the oil that we need in order to run our economy? It's putting our fate in the hands of others. He may look into renegotiating with Russia and Ukraine the regions that they are fighting over so that this war can come to an end. Thirdly, he is likely to support Israel in taking action against Iran's nuclear program, aiming to strengthen U.S. Middle East alliances and counter China's influence in the region. And to finish this off, this pretty much says that there is a majority now in the Senate, in the House, that the Supreme Court has a majority of justices which are conservative, which will give President-elect Trump, once he becomes 47, the ability to push through a lot of things that he couldn't push through the first time because the House was full of rhinos, and that's my opinion. We did it, ladies and gentlemen. We beat ESG. Thank goodness. In my opinion, ESG is evil. And we've always said that good will prevail over evil because it always has. Trump will be the nail on ESG's coffin. Thank goodness. For those of you that don't know what ESG is, it is nothing but a plan to run the country by bureaucrats that never were voted into office or to power of any kind. ESG is already dead, as we have been noting over the last couple of years. But with Trump taking office, it'll officially take custody of its death certificate. This, ladies and gentlemen, makes me somewhat emotional. Because if you don't understand what ESG is, I've done several videos on this, dating back at least 2 or 3, if not more years, on what it is and what impact it would have on our liberties. Go look those up or do your own research. But this is something that we should be celebrating. Initially aimed at promoting sustainable and ethical business practices, which sounds great until you actually read what it really promotes. ESG became embroiled in a culture war and now faces a retreat. As American priorities shift toward a more nationalist, even mercantilist approach to economics, the peace reminds us. And ladies and gentlemen, what's wrong with putting America first when they say nationalist? That's what it is. Do you want your country to be put first in education or be last in education in the world? Do you want your country to have a strong economy or an economy where we look at other countries to fulfill the needs that we won't fulfill for ourselves? That's what America First is. And I'm 100% for it. EFTs no longer send money to clean energy. It's not about clean energy. It's about how you produce the energy. But instead of producing our own energy, that we have under our feet, we go ahead and outsource it to other countries that produce that same energy at a great expense to the environment. So why not do it ourselves? Thank goodness. I can't wait for the day when I come here and tell you all, ESG is 100% dead. It's not even a name anymore. And this, ladies and gentlemen, I believe is probably one of the most important things that 45 can do as soon as he becomes 47. And it is to unleash the fury of the border czar and make sure that our borders are 100% secure and that they start rounding up those that have broken the law by getting into this country unlawfully. The law is supposed to be blind, and it's not supposed to care what your socioeconomic status is. So it doesn't matter who's in this country unlawfully. They have to go, and then they can come back through the front door once they've been vetted. Incoming border czar plans workside raids to bust migrant, and you can read the rest for yourselves because this stuff is really going on. I think I heard something about 300 or so thousand children that came across unlawfully that are now missing. Where are they at? Where's the compassion for them? Where's the compassion for the 80% of females that cross the southern border that have been, you know what I mean, SA'd by the coyotes that bring them up? Well, now there's going to be someone on there that actually cares, not only about America, but about humanity. Gates resigns, effective immediately after Trump AG pick. DC in full-blown panic. If you don't know why DC is in full-blown panic, it's because Gates is a patriot and he believes, as I do, that Lady Liberty is blind for a reason or has her eyes covered for a reason. And it's because the law, ladies and gentlemen, the law of the land applies to everyone, especially to those that are atop the 1%. Update, according to House Speaker Mike Johnson, Gates has effectively resigned immediately. I think out of deference to us, he issued his resignation letter effective immediately of Congress, said Johnson. What is he saying there? That he is resigning from Congress immediately. And this is why I think it's a great reason. You can't have too many absences. So under Florida state law, there's about an 8-week period to select and fill a vacancy in Congress. And by doing this today, he says he was able to call Governor DeSantis from Florida and start the clock running today. And if we start the clock now, he says, if you do the math, we may be able to fill that seat as early as January 3rd when we take the new oath of office for new Congress. And that's what good leaders are, ladies and gentlemen, are ones that have forethought, are ones that can see the initial, secondary, and tertiary order of effects of the things that they do now. Not like, let's get rid of plastic. Did you all see that clip of that young lady that was testifying in front of Congress?
I said the plastics industry must be stopped.
So does that mean end plastic manufacturing?
I mean, in my dream world, sure. But I think that, go ahead.
No, so I don't mean to be condescending here. I just point out, what's going to replace your glasses? Like,
So I
would you wear
do
your
know,
glasses around your face? They're made of plastic.
maybe.
No,
I don't know what they're made out of.
They are. What about, and I just point out some things here because I just want to be realistic when we're having conversations, because when statements are made like this, I just want to open people's eyes and say, well, okay, that's easy to say, but what's the solution? Your water bottle in front of you.
This one?
Yes. That plastic?
No.
The lid is. That's plastic.
Right. So
Right.
I would say to your
cell phone-
question that I would first be concerned about single-use plastics, and then we can talk about alternatives to this.
Your cell phone there. Is it plastic?
The cases. but it's glass because I broke
Oh, the components
this
inside of it's
screen
not
yesterday.
plastic? The components made out of it's not in plastic? Yeah, they are. The water that you filled that water bottle up with, where'd you fill that water bottle up out of?
A water filling station.
All right, and it was delivered by a drink station that was plastic?
I didn't check.
The edges are. The piping coming to it. Now, you have a couple choices with the piping. We could go back to using wood.
And the reason she had no answers, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, is because she was arguing with talking points instead of fact and knowledge and the foresight to see what would happen in the future if we just get rid of plastics. The hits to the establishment keep coming as President-elect Donald Trump has nominated Representative Matt Gaetz, Republican from Florida, for Attorney General of the United States. I keep laughing when they say he's gonna be Attorney General of the United States, because this guy is gonna go after them, and he don't care what side they're on. But I would hope, and I do think, that he's not gonna have any favorites. He's gonna go after them all, and I just hope that that comes to be. Because this country needs a cleansing, ladies and gentlemen. This country needs a cleansing and needs a gut punch to say, what the heck have you been doing with the gift that you've been given? The only country in the world where the people were allowed to be free so that we can pick representatives and not kings or monarchs. Well, this is another one of those things that made me start laughing out loud. Trump taps Tulsi Gabbard as Director of National Intelligence. And ladies and gentlemen, I've said a long time ago, I'm not sure if I said it on air here, but I told my wife, I says, you know what? This is someone that I would be more than happy to vote for President of the United States, because in my opinion, she has what it takes. But for her to be the Director of National Intelligence, having someone in that position that actually loves her country, number one, that should be the very first criteria for anyone that's going to be in any position under Trump. They have to love their country. But that is as experienced and as smart as this lady is, I am so happy to hear that she's going to be part of this cabinet. And look at that, ladies and gentlemen. How could you not like Tulsi? She's wearing a Buc-ee's patch on her gear. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for all of your support for now and always. And thank you very much to Genesis Gold Group for sponsoring this video. God bless every one of you. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.